In my last video about Himalayan pink salt, I showed you how to use it in daily life, from morning drinks to soothing foot soaks. Since then, so many of you have commented and even sent me messages asking how pink salt really affects the health of older adults. I'm Grandma Maggie from Health 4S, and I've been listening closely. That's why in this video, we're going deeper, looking at what pink salt really means for older adults, your heart, your bones, your kidneys, even your memory. Stick with me, because I'll share 5 surprising truths most people never hear, plus the one hidden risk you definitely need to know. Before we dive in, let me ask, do you use pink salt, table salt, or both? Share your answer in the comments, and don't forget to like and share this video. Watch until the end, because the last tip might change how you season your food forever. Now let's start with the question I hear most often. What about blood pressure? It's an important place to begin, because for many older adults, high blood pressure is already something to keep an eye on. Himalayan pink salt may look prettier and sound healthier, but here's the truth. It still behaves like regular salt when it comes to your blood pressure. Sodium is the main player here. Too much sodium in your daily meals can make your body hold on to extra water. That extra fluid pushes against the walls of your blood vessels, and over time it can drive your blood pressure higher. According to the World Health Organization, adults should limit total salt intake to about 5 grams per day. That's roughly 1 teaspoon of all the salt in your food combined. The tricky part for older adults is what experts call salt sensitivity. As we age, our bodies often become more sensitive to sodium. That means the same amount of salt that hardly affected you years ago may now raise your blood pressure more noticeably. So, what should you do in practice? First, don't be fooled by the color. Pink salt is not a free pass to sprinkle more. Keep your portions small. Whether you're seasoning soup or finishing a salad, try using a pinch of pink salt as a finishing touch at the table rather than adding large amounts while cooking. And balance your meals with potassium-rich foods like bananas, spinach, or beans, which naturally help counter sodium's effect on blood pressure. The bottom line: pink salt can add flavor and beauty to your meals, but for your heart health, moderation is the key. If you're already watching your blood pressure or taking medication, it's always wise to talk with your healthcare provider before making pink salt a daily habit. Now, let's move from the heart to something just as important as we get older: our bones. Strong bones keep us steady, mobile, and independent, but they naturally thin out with age. That's why anything in our diet that affects bone strength deserves our full attention. Here's what many don't realize: eating too much salt, including pink salt, can actually increase the amount of calcium lost through urine. Over time, that steady drain may weaken bones and raise the risk of osteoporosis, a condition already common in older adults, especially women after menopause. The science is clear on this part. Several studies have shown that higher sodium intake is linked with greater calcium loss, which means more fragile bones. Pink salt does contain trace minerals like magnesium and calcium, but the amounts are so tiny they won't replace what's being lost. So, what can you do in practice? Keep your pink salt portions modest and make sure your meals include foods that build bone strength, like leafy greens, small fish with edible bones, dairy if you tolerate it, or calcium-fortified plant milks. And don't forget vitamin D from safe sun exposure or supplements if your doctor recommends it. The takeaway here is simple. Pink salt isn't harmful in itself, but overdoing salt of any kind can chip away at your bone health. Balance is everything, and for older adults, protecting your bones is protecting your freedom to move and enjoy life. We've talked about the heart and the bones. Now, let's look at another organ that works hard every single day: the kidneys. As we grow older, our kidneys don't filter as efficiently as they once did, and that makes us more sensitive to salt in general. Whether it's regular table salt or Himalayan pink salt, too much sodium can cause the body to retain extra fluid. For older adults, that often shows up as swollen ankles, puffy fingers, or a heavy feeling in the legs. In people with kidney disease, diabetes, or heart problems, this fluid buildup can be even more serious. From a scientific point of view, sodium pulls water into the bloodstream and tissues. That's why high salt intake increases the workload on aging kidneys, forcing them to process more fluid and raising the risk of edema. Pink salt isn't different here. Its sodium content is nearly the same as any other salt. So, how can you stay safe? First, pay attention to your body. If you notice swelling or sudden weight gain over just a few days, that can be a sign you're holding on to too much fluid. Second, balance your meals with water-rich foods like cucumbers, watermelon, or zucchini, which help support hydration without excess sodium. And here's a gentle reminder. If you have kidney disease or related conditions, always check with your healthcare provider before making pink salt a regular part of your routine. For older adults, protecting kidney function means protecting your overall energy and comfort each day. Now, let's talk about something that worries many families as the years go by: memory and brain health. We often think of salt as only affecting blood pressure or swelling, but the truth is, the balance of sodium in your body also plays a role in how clearly you think. Here's what science has found. Very low sodium levels in the blood, a condition called hyponatremia, are linked with confusion, poor concentration, and even increased risk of falls in older adults. On the other hand, too much salt over time can harm blood vessels in the brain, raising the risk of stroke and cognitive decline. That's why the goal isn't to cut salt out completely or to treat pink salt as a miracle food. Himalayan salt has the same sodium effect as table salt, so what really matters is keeping your intake balanced, not too high, not too low. In practice, this means seasoning lightly, using a small pinch of pink salt for flavor, and building meals around brain-friendly foods like walnuts, berries, and leafy greens. Staying hydrated also helps your body regulate sodium levels and keeps your mind sharper. The key takeaway for older adults: pink salt won't protect your memory on its own, but using it wisely, in small amounts, as part of a balanced diet can support both brain and body health as you age. We've covered the heart, the bones, the kidneys, and even the brain, but there's another part of the body many older adults don't think much about until problems appear: the thyroid. This tiny gland in your neck controls metabolism, energy, and even how warm or cold you feel. For decades, regular table salt has been fortified with iodine to protect against goiter and other thyroid issues. Himalayan pink salt, however, usually contains little to no added iodine. That means if you switch completely to pink salt and don't eat other iodine-rich foods, you could slowly develop an iodine deficiency. According to the World Health Organization, adults generally need about 150 micrograms of iodine per day. Without enough, the thyroid has to work harder, which can lead to fatigue, weight changes, and in some cases, swelling in the neck. Older adults are especially vulnerable because metabolism and hormone balance are already shifting with age. So here's my advice. If you enjoy pink salt, keep it in your kitchen, but don't rely on it as your only source of salt. Make sure you're getting iodine from foods like seafood, eggs, dairy, or even seaweed if you enjoy it. And if your doctor has ever mentioned thyroid concerns, it's worth asking whether your iodine intake is adequate. The bottom line: pink salt can add flavor and beauty, but it won't give you the iodine your thyroid needs. Balance it with other foods or keep some iodized salt handy. Protecting your thyroid means protecting your energy and vitality for the years ahead. Before we wrap up, let's talk about something very practical: how to choose and use Himalayan pink salt safely. This is especially important for older adults because quality matters when it comes to both health and budget. First, remember that not all pink salt on the market is meant for eating. Some types are mined for lamps or bath products and may contain impurities. Always look for food-grade Himalayan salt, clearly labeled for culinary use, preferably from reputable brands. Second, beware of fake products. Real Himalayan salt is mined in Pakistan's Punjab region. If you see unusually bright colors or very low prices, be cautious. Some are simply dyed or mixed with cheaper salts. Third, think about how you actually use it day to day. Pink salt works best as a finishing salt, just a small pinch sprinkled over cooked vegetables, soups, or even fruit. That way you enjoy its flavor without adding too much sodium. Using a grinder can also help you control portion size. And finally, keep balance in mind. Don't throw away iodized salt entirely unless you know your diet provides enough iodine elsewhere. Having both in your kitchen, pink salt for taste and iodized salt for thyroid support, may be the simplest and safest choice. In short, pink salt can be a lovely addition, but choose carefully, use modestly, and always keep your health priorities first. For older adults, wise choices in the kitchen today can mean better energy and fewer health troubles tomorrow. So, my friends, here's the truth we've uncovered together. Himalayan pink salt is beautiful, tasty, and natural, but it isn't magic. For older adults, the key is balance. Too much salt of any kind can strain the heart, weaken the bones, burden the kidneys, and even cloud the mind. Too little, on the other hand, can leave your body out of balance and your energy low. My gentle reminder is this: listen to your body, choose quality salt, and always keep moderation in mind. Let pink salt be an accent, not the main ingredient. Combine it with nourishing foods and healthy habits, and you'll get the real benefits: more comfort, more vitality, and more years of enjoying life fully. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you keep pink salt in your kitchen, or do you still reach for regular table salt? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's learn from each other's experiences. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe. Stay well, stay balanced, and remember, your body's wisdom is always your best guide.